At the family party, in front of everyone, my parents raised a glass and said, "We wish your sister was our only child." And for a second, everyone laughed. Except me. My name is Denial Raza. And that night didn't just embarrass me. It showed me exactly where I stood in my own family. The house was full. Music playing. People talking over each other. Laughter bouncing off the walls. Cousins, uncles, aunties. Everyone was there. It was supposed to be a celebration. My father had just closed a big deal. So naturally, he turned it into a party. Because in our family, success isn't private. It's displayed. I arrived on time, like always, carrying a small gift. Nothing expensive, just thoughtful. Because that's how I operated. Quiet effort. No attention. No expectations. As I walked in, my mother greeted me with a quick hug. "Finally," she said. "Not warm. Not cold. Just routine." My father nodded from across the room. Busy. Important. Surrounded. My younger sister Ariba walked past me, laughing with her friends. Didn't even notice me. Or maybe she did, and chose not to. Nothing unusual. Nothing new. Just familiar patterns. I placed the gift on the table, blended into the background, like I always did. Because in this family, there were roles, and mine was invisible support. The evening moved on. Food, conversations, stories I had already heard before. My father repeating his success like it was a headline. People praising him, admiring him, and Ariba, right next to him, smiling, shining, included. Then came the moment, the one no one forgets, even if they pretend to. My father tapped his glass. The room quieted. Gradually, naturally, attention shifted toward him, where it always went. "I just want to say something," he began, confident, comfortable, used to being heard. "This year has been incredible," he said. "Business is growing. Life is good." Nods around the room. Smiles. Agreement. "And honestly," he continued, "a lot of that credit goes to my daughter." He placed his hand on Ariba's shoulder. She smiled wider. Proud. Expected. "She understands me," he added. "She supports me." More nods. More smiles. I stood near the wall, listening, not surprised, because praise in this house had direction. Then my mother stepped in. Soft voice, but loud enough. "She's always been the one we could rely on," she said. Ariba laughed lightly, enjoying it, absorbing it, like it was normal. Then, my father raised his glass, looked around, and said it. "We honestly feel." A pause, just enough to build attention. "Like we'd be better off if she was our only child." Laughter. Immediate. Loud. People thinking it was a joke. Something light. Something harmless. But jokes have truth inside them. And this one wasn't hidden. I didn't laugh. Not because I was offended immediately, but because something inside me went quiet. I looked at them, both of them, waiting, just for a second, for something. A correction. A softening. A "we're kidding." It didn't come. Instead, my mother smiled. My father took a sip. And Ariba didn't react at all. Because to her, this wasn't shocking. It was familiar. One of my uncles laughed louder. "Ari Denial ko mat bullo," he said jokingly. "Don't forget Denial." My father waved his hand dismissively. "He's fine," he said. Just that. "He's fine." That sentence did more damage than the first one, because being fine means you don't matter enough to be discussed. I stood there, still, holding a glass I hadn't even sipped from, and for the first time, I didn't feel angry. I felt clear. Because sometimes, it's not the insult that changes you, it's the confirmation. All those years, all those moments, all those small things I ignored, they aligned perfectly. I wasn't overlooked. I was placed. in a position where I was expected to exist, without impact, without recognition, without value. And the worst part? They didn't even think it was wrong. The conversation moved on. Music came back. People laughed again, like nothing happened. But for me, everything had changed. I placed my glass down slowly, untouched, as I didn't need it. I didn't walk out, not immediately, because reacting right away would only make it emotional. And this wasn't emotional anymore. It was understood. I stepped outside, onto the balcony, away from the noise, away from the voices, away from them. The night air was cold, quiet, real. And as I stood there, looking at the city lights, one thought settled in, clear, unshakable. If they truly believed I didn't matter, then I would stop trying to prove that I did, and start showing them what absence feels like. Because sometimes, people don't realize your value when you're present. They realize it when you're gone. And that night was the beginning of that lesson. I didn't go back inside right away. Not after that. Because once something becomes clear, you don't rush to fix it. You let it settle. The next day, I didn't message anyone. No follow-up. No last night was awkward. Nothing. Silence. Days turned into weeks. And just like that, I stopped showing up. No family dinners. No random visits. No quiet support in the background. At first, nothing changed. No calls. No questions. Because when someone is always there, their absence isn't noticed immediately. So I redirected everything. My time, my focus, my energy, into myself, into work, into growth. Late nights became normal. Not out of stress, but purpose. Projects expanded. New opportunities came in. And for the first time, my effort was visible. Not to them, but to the world. Then one evening, my phone rang. My mother. I stared at the screen for a second, then answered. "You've been quiet," she said. Not worried, just observing. "Busy," I replied. Short, simple. "With what?" she asked. There it was. Interest. But not in me. In what I was doing. "Building something," I said. A pause. Then, "You didn't come last Sunday." I almost smiled. Now they noticed. "No reason to," I replied. Silence. Different this time. Heavier. A few days later, my father called. That rarely happened. "Come over this weekend," he said. No explanation. No acknowledgement. Just expectation. I leaned back, calm, because now, the dynamic had shifted. "I'm busy," I said. A pause. Longer than usual. "With what?" he asked. Same question. Different tone. "Things that matter," I replied. Silence. Real silence. Because for the first time, I wasn't adjusting to them. They were adjusting to me. And slowly, very slowly, they were starting to feel something unfamiliar. What it's like when the person you took for granted stops showing up. A week later, I showed up. Not for them. For closure. The house felt the same, but their energy didn't. Quieter. Careful. My father spoke first. "We didn't mean it like that," he said. I nodded. "I know," I replied. "But you said it anyway." Silence. My mother looked at me. "You've changed." I held her gaze. "No," I said calmly. "I just stopped accepting it." No argument followed. No denial. Just understanding. Late, but real. I didn't stay long. Didn't need to. Because this wasn't about fixing them. It was about choosing myself. Glowing star moral. Don't chase value where you're not seen. Sometimes the strongest message isn't what you say. It's what you stop giving.